technology figured out. Hey, welcome to the Firearms and Fellowship podcast. I am happy to be joined by Nibs from Walnut and Steel and Chris Lang, 5659. How we doing, fellas?
I'm doing great.
Doing just fine, sir. Thank you.
Outstanding. So, yeah, we just wanted to get together on a Friday night and just chat a little bit about firearms. And I think we need to start off with Chris talking about his new rifle that he got because that thing is a banger.
Wow. What do you want to know about it? It's fun. I am enjoying it, and the way that I got it was probably the best thing about the entire deal.
Tell us about that. Tell us how you got it and where you got it.
Yeah, I'm interested in that too.
I really don't even know where to start. Because I'm so just grateful. Well, we made friends with the J Delta 22, and that man has been wanting to see me shoot good, and he's done everything in his power to make that happen. And so, wow, I really don't know what to say about the thing. I can just thank you as often as I can say it.
Well, today, guys, I was thinking the firearms community on YouTube is a really good community. Nibs was one of the first guys to shout me out, and I know he was one of the first to shout you out as well, Chris. And there's been a lot of guys, other channels that have been really supportive, even to this day, helping me. But what rifle is it, Chris? Because I'm not familiar with it.
That is a Savage B22 Precision.
Bolt action.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How you been shooting with it so far?
Well, just getting to know it.
Yeah.
We had some pretty good results with the standard velocity from SK, and that got my hopes up pretty quick. And the next thing was the pistol match from SK also, and that didn't really do the same thing. But as we got up to the high velocity match, that grabbed my attention again. We still need to shoot that standard velocity a little bit more. I'm down to my last box, and so we're gonna get it in. And I think this weekend or tomorrow we will probably be starting with our some more elite testing.
Outstanding. Nibs, what do you got going on, man?
Well, I just I got a little trinket over here on the bench that I'm going to be starting to work on here. I don't know if you can see that. I won't touch it, but this is a new adventure for me over here. A flintlock black powder. I've had a few black powders over the years, but I've never dabbled in anything other than 209 primers and percussion caps. So I'm not a newbie to black powder, but I definitely have never tried setting up a flintlock. So that's going to be an interesting adventure, I think.
Yeah, I've never waded into that myself. I've had some. I just never messed with them. Gonna have to be something I do one of these days.
And I've just been out here in the garage doing some remodeling on my my air gun wall over here.
Anytime I get a new rifle, I have to check with Nibs because I know he's probably had one at some point or has one.
Yeah, I like
We
that
seem to
Winchester
cross-pollinate
72 you
a
just got.
Oh, there's a lot of people popping into the comments here.
Yeah, I've got the live stream going on my channel too, and got 20 people watching right now.
Outstanding.
Yeah. And guys, if I don't if I don't answer up on my live stream, it's because I'm watching here on my computer and then watching my live stream on my channel on my phone. So it's hard to watch both. So
Yeah. So Nibs, I picked up that Winchester 72
yep.
yesterday. That's a wonderful rifle. As soon as I touched it, I knew I had to have it.
Yep.
But you've had one in the past, I
I
believe,
did
right?
have one in like a fool. I let it go a couple years ago. I did
Yeah.
I did kind of a culling down of my collection, and I kept the Winchesters. I kept all the Winchesters that I had that actually had peep sights, and that one didn't have any peep sights on it, so I sent that one down the road. But I wouldn't mind getting another one. It was a nice. Does yours have scope grooves on it?
It does.
Okay,
Um,
that mine didn't. Mine was an older one. It did not have scope grooves on it, and it didn't have wasn't drilled and tapped either. So I had no way to actually mount an optic on it. I'd like to find one with scope grooves on it. That would have been a later one. Mine was a real old one from.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't start.
I wasn't very familiar with 72, and I went down that rabbit hole
Yeah,
yesterday, and there's a good long post on Rimfire
been a
Central.
while since I've done any research about that, but there is like there's certain features you can look at on them to determine whether they're earlier production or newer production. But
Yeah, yeah,
the having the
different
scope grooves
stocks.
on it probably puts it at least like 55 or newer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm really
Yeah.
gonna have to dig into it. And I was hoping some people would jump in the comments and say something.
Winchester was kind of late coming to the party as far as putting scope grooves on a lot of their rifles. So
Yeah.
they probably thought it was just going to be a fluke that went away fast or something. But I think Mossberg was one of the first ones. Like in 1949, they started putting. Oh, hi, Brian.
Hey, Bill Dye. I see Bill Dye in the comments. We
Yep.
love Bill. He's
Yep.
a
Oh yeah.
he's a big supporter of all of us. We appreciate his support for sure.
But
It is like a
so
family reunion.
yeah, I've got a couple of Winchester 75s still out here in the garage, a couple of 69s with peep sights on them, and then you guys know I love my 52s, so I got way too many of those.
Hey Jim, good to see you. Yeah, I've never had a 69. I've got a couple 74s, one in short and one in long.
Yeah,
And
I just got a 74 this past year with the 22 shorts. That's fun. I need to get that out some more.
yeah, that's an interesting design. With the drawn steel tube receiver.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that T.C. Johnson that designed that?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't.
That's what is back here in the cranium.
Yeah, I
Somebody
haven't really
put it in the
researched that
comments. There you
too
go.
much yet, but
Man, look at everybody coming out tonight. This is awesome.
this past year has just been a flurry of air guns for me, so it's been tough for me to. But I've had a lot of fun, so I can't complain.
Well, you got some people sending you some stuff too, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
What
So
companies are you working with right now?
well, I just got the newest Barra 1100Z PCP. That's actually a really nice gun, less than $300, and it's a shooting gun. I used to have the original 1100Z, but I traded it to one of my channel subscribers. He sent me a message saying he had a Remington 12C. He didn't want it really, and he had actually taken it down to a local gun shop, and they gave him a really poor offer on it, just to say the least. But he sent me a picture of it, and I told him I'd love to have it, and he says, "Well, I'm looking for an air gun. You got anything you want to trade?" So I traded him that Barra with a scope and a hand pump. So I was probably $300 or $400 worth of stuff I sent him. So, but 12C is a nice gun. Remington 12C pump action.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not perfect.
I had my eyes on one the other day, but it wasn't quite right enough for me to pull the trigger on that. Hopefully, George McAllister pops in here this evening, because I know you had some air gun questions for him. Wanted to talk.
I've been doing a lot of kind of work behind the scenes and on the scenes with a channel member of my channel. His name's Randy, and hopefully he'll see this in the live stream later if he doesn't pop on now. But he's a very avid vintage air gun collector, and Bill asked me if I've been looking through there. I haven't bought anything from Dixie yet, but it's definitely nice reading when I'm just kind of chilling out, relaxing at night. Bill sent me a Dixie gun, Black Powder Works, what do you call it, catalog, and because he saw I got that flintlock.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till spring till I really go down that rabbit hole too far. But
Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies, someone say 52s.
Yeah.
I've got mine. Mine's a Morocco reproduction. Yeah, I've got it on the consignment rack right now for an outrageous sum. I may go ahead and bring it back home. We'll see. Those
now,
are
is
nice
that like the Sporter profile barrel on that one, or?
Yeah. And Morocco does a really good job. And I've had a couple of their rifles.
I've seen a few of those over the years. Just haven't ever picked one up, but they looked really nice.
Yeah, they do an excellent job. I had a BLR 22, short lever throw.
Mm-hmm. So I was talking about Randy there, and like I said, he's a very avid vintage and antique air gun collector, and over the last several months, he's actually been he buys a lot of stuff on eBay and other collector sites and stuff. And instead of having them shipped to his house, he has them sent to me first. I can do a review on them on the channel, and then mail them over to him. So I just cool. I won't get it, but actually unboxed last night it's called an Apache Fireball rifle, and it's really cool. They only made them for 2 years in 1948 and 49. If you're interested in that, go check out my mail call I did last night, and you can check it out. Shoots great, pretty cool. This one is an earlier production one, and it actually has a liner that you can screw in and screw out of the barrel that lets you. So the primary caliber of it is a 24 caliber round ball, but you can put this insert inside the barrel and it lets you shoot 177 caliber round balls.
Okay.
So I'm shooting lead BBs out of it because I had some 24 caliber round balls because Randy had sent me an Apache pistol, and I can't remember if it's 4-aught or number 4 buck. I think it's number 4 buck actually is the perfect size pellet for that. So I bought a box of number 4 buckshot from the local gun store and cut them all open and got all the pellets out of them. But when I sent Randy's pistol back to him, I packed up all the pellets that I had and sent them with the pistol because I didn't think I'd ever see one of them again. Now I got one in the garage here. I got to go buy some more number 4 buckshot so I can shoot this one with the 24 caliber round balls.
Yeah, Kentucky Rimfire and Hobby says, "Wake up, Chris." Hey, Chris, talk about your. We talked about your new rifle. Tell us about the one you were shooting before that, because you had that thing dialed in.
Yeah, Chad, I'm just taking in all the wisdom here because these guys have they've got me on the wisdom part. So the 597, I guess you are talking about. Uh, that thing has come a long way. I think I've had that rifle for about 20 years, and I never knew that it could do what it does. And, because it was always Winchester Super X or, the mini mags and things like that. And just a Walmart special scope on it that didn't do any justice. And so, wow. I remember.
Good scope goes a long way, brother.
But it's funny because I remember my first upgrade. And wow, that was a 16 power center point scope, but it had an adjustable objective on it. And man, I was doing some shooting after that, which is very funny just to look back on now because now we've got the Righton scope on there, and wow, that helped tremendously. And it's just funny that every time you make a step up in your scopes and optics and ammo, all those little bits help.
Yeah.
And I just never imagined that it would help that much.
Yeah. Well, we all, everybody starts somewhere. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I didn't start shooting until I was in my mid-20s. I mean, I maybe shot a shotgun a couple times, but, my first rifle, I went into a gun store and I was like, I want to get my first rifle. So they pointed me to old Target Master and bought a box of cartridges, and I didn't know where to go shoot. I didn't know how to shoot. And what's funny is the first time I shot that rifle, I thought, man, this thing kicks.
Yeah, right on. That's funny.
But it's
I got lucky.
Honestly, I haven't been shooting, avidly and to any great extent that long either. Maybe 15 or 16 years.
Wow.
I mean, I've always shot. I've had a 22, all along, and a shotgun and everything. But just in the last probably 15, 16 years, I've really gotten into, collecting and shooting a lot. But
yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever seen my video on my 146 BA, Mossberg 146 BA. That is, and I still have that over here in my cabinet, but that is, that was my dad's gun. And it was the first real firearm I ever shot. And I still have it. Still love taking it out. When I got it, it had been, when my father passed away, my uncle inherited it. And then when my uncle passed away, I got it back. And it had some little cheap Tasco scope on it. And you couldn't hardly see 20 feet in front of you with it. And I actually went and didn't have any of the sights left on it. I went through and I didn't restore it, but I cleaned the stock up, cleaned all the rust off the barrel, and got all the proper sights for it and got it put back to the way it should be. But that was really kind of my start. Once I got that gun, I had bought a couple other 22s before that, but that really kind of got me started. But I shot that gun when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and that was the first time I'd ever shot a real gun. I had a Red Ryder or Daisy BB gun before that. Crossman
That's
760.
Cool that it came back home. I mean, because that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. I'm really glad I was able to get it back. That I've got a couple other of my dad's guns and my grandfather's guns, but that one is really probably the most special one for me, just because when I was a teenager, I couldn't even imagine probably 4,000 or 5,000 rounds I shot through that thing, shooting every squirrel and rabbit and grouse within, 2 miles of my parents' house.
Nobody knew Nibs was a slayer.
Well, I haven't shot anything in years, but
Me neither. Chris, are you a hunter?
No, actually, just not. When when I was a kid, and I guess Dad got me a Crossman 760, and at that time, I guess I was, because I think I wiped out an entire population of cottontail. And they did all get eaten. As a matter of fact, when I went to Dad's on the weekend, I'd go get a cottontail, I'd bring it home, skin it, do all the stuff, cook it. Wow. And that was good times. But here recently, no, I haven't even gotten my first whitetail yet. We're hoping that these things will change, because that'd be something everybody's got to do at once.
Yeah.
This is what I hunt now.
Right on.
I just did this before we started the stream up here with my new Diana.
What flavor is that?
Didn't quite get it cut all the way through. That was a fail. But
yeah.
Oh well.
Do better next time.
Yep.
We got a hello from up in Canada. What
Who's
part
that?
of Canada? I lived in Canada for a while. I was over in Nova Scotia.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful city, Halifax, man. Wonderful food. The seafood in Halifax is just, man, it spoils you. Once you come back here, it's like, you got to be kidding me.
I lived down in Virginia Beach for several years, and that's kind of the same way. Just you go down Atlantic Avenue in Virginia Beach, and there's a hotel and a bar, and then a seafood restaurant, and then another hotel and a bar and a seafood restaurant. And every one of them's got all you can eat crab legs and shrimp, and you go in there and sit for 3-4 hours and eat crab legs and shrimp all day. That was really good. When I was in the Navy.
I went to a seafood restaurant here in Oklahoma the other day and got brave and ordered some oysters on the half shell. That first one didn't stay in my mouth very long. It was a bad deal, man. I mean, talk about ruining a supper.
I had a bad experience with oysters when I was an adult, but I was much younger, and I used to love oysters, but had a bad experience with some that were just starting to not be good anymore. And
yeah,
ever since then, I can't get them.
You won't forget that. No. We got Scotrod says he just picked up a Mossberg 44 US and a Harrington and Richardson M12.
Both awesome.
Nice Redfield International match peep with the selective aperture disc. That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, I've got a couple of rifles with that selective aperture disc. My the new Winchester, or not Winchester, the new Anschutz 54 that I just got. I showed you that before we started the live stream up. That has that selective aperture. Let me tip my computer here.
For those that don't know, on live streams, you are not allowed to touch a weapon, and it's probably killing Nibs being surrounded.
I'm not touching nothing.
He's surrounded by them. It's like a rifle insurrection.
That's my new Anschutz 54. I just shot that on Sunday in my sporting rifle league. I did really well. I need to get a little more practice with it, but it did really well. I need a little bit of practice.
I've got a Harrington and Richardson 700, which is a 22 mag autoloader, and that's just something you don't see very often because it's such
I've never even heard of it.
It's a hard cartridge to get to feed right. And man, I have never had a failure to feed or fire in that thing. It's a
Wow.
big old heavy rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blast to shoot. I can't remember what scope I've got on top of it right now. I think it's probably an old Tasco. I don't think it's a real old one, but yeah, if you're looking for a 22 mag auto loader, that Harrington and Richardson 700 is one of the best kept secrets in the world.
I'm not sure I would want an auto loader in 22 Magnum. They're too expensive to be plinking like that.
That's almost like shooting a centerfire cartridge.
Yeah, I do have a couple of really nice 22 mags, but I don't have a semi-automatic one. I do have I can't remember if it's an H&R or a Ivor Johnson. It's a lever action 22 Magnum. I believe it's an H&R model 70. Oh boy, now I'm having a gray moment.
What's up, Vargo?
So but that lever action is it was actually made by Irma Work from Germany and then imported in H&R, and that's why I can't remember which one mine is, but Ivor Johnson and H&R both imported them from Irma Work. And then when Irma Work went out of business in the 70s, the family that owns Henry Rifles actually bought the designs for that. And that's the same rifle that is their H001 lever action. I actually did a pretty good video on that, showing both of those two side by side. And you can literally interchange parts between the two of them. And
man, I don't know what it is, but every time I try to get more than one rifle out, it seems like things just go sideways for me. We got, let's see. Well, first of all, we got a shout out. We got Millsurp Garage in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
If you're not a subscriber to his channel,
I know his name's not Ron, but I'm going to call him Ron because that's what everybody else calls him.
He does absolutely wonderful, in-depth talks about rifles. Absolutely wonderful. And he got kind of screwed over here a while back on that deal because they won't let him show the patents anymore, which was one of the coolest parts of his channel.
I don't understand that.
Still cool, but that was
take snapshots of the patent diagrams and start machining their own gun parts.
Build your own.
I mean, come on, let's use a little common sense here.
Yeah.
That's just unbelievable. But yeah, man, we'd love to have you in here, and we need to get you on the pod.
I had the opportunity to fix a Crossman pellet pistol for him a year or two ago. That was a lot of fun. A little collaboration with him.
We got another Canadian in the house. I think they're invading us. We say faithful subscriber from Southern Ontario, 3 hours from you, Nibs.
Yep, not too far.
How cold is it in Ontario right now? Got to be a little chilly.
I hate to butt in with the bad news. However, I am at 5% battery, now 4, and nowhere to plug in.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to have to cut this one short, guys. I really appreciate y'all having me on for whatever little participation that I had in this. But thank you so much, man. This is a great pleasure, and thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Man, it's been fun watching you evolve with your rifles. And
thank you. There's
dude.
Much more to come.
You got to get your air guns back out and shoot them at 100 yards again. That was what what caught my eye when I was watching you early on.
Yeah, that's been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
I finally started getting some traction on the Crossman Legacy at 150 yards.
Nice.
And so that was kind of cool. It was a pretty late bloomer, but it's coming around, and yeah, we do need to get it back out and continue that struggle. But guys, yeah, I'm gonna have to kick off, guys. Thank you. We love you guys.
Yep.
Y'all have a
All
great
right.
night.
Hey, God bless. We love you, brother.
Yes, sir. Bye, y'all.
So it's
All
a
right.
balmy it's a balmy 31 here in New York. So,
and then there were two. All right. Let's see. Let's get in the comments here and see. We got Simply Airguns. Semi 22 mag is handy for follow-up shots on jackrabbits. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mill Syrup, thanks for the kind words, guys. Man, they're deserved. Your content is outstanding.
yeah.
People don't realize if you've never done it, it takes a lot of work, and especially for what he does, all the research that he has to do to pull that all together, and it's such a great resource, and it'll be here forever.
I'd love to be able to do that in-depth stuff, but my ADD kicks in fast. So
I enjoy it. That's one of the things I enjoy most about getting a new rifle that I haven't had before is reading about it and learning about it, and it's just different.
Yeah.
George McAllister and I have talked about this before. It's just different when you have it in your hands and you can touch it and you can feel it, and you can read about something and then go look at it. It's just a different experience, and one of the things that I enjoy so much about collecting. Right. Wedgeworth says, later, Chris. We've got a lot of people in here tonight. I appreciate you guys.
That's fun. Yeah.
Greetings from NorCal. 61 degrees today, man.
Yeah. I'd love that.
Nice.
It's supposed to be close to 40 tomorrow, though, for me. So I'm going to be out for sure.
I was watching one of your videos the other day, and it was summertime, and you're like, man, I didn't really want to come out here because it's a sweltering 91 degrees, and I'm like, you see me when I'm in the shop, and it's 108, and the humidity's 100%.
Yeah, I don't.
That's whatever you get used to, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken the travel down to Florida and stuff in the middle of summertime, and I don't know how people live there. I couldn't imagine. But
no.
The older I get, the more my fingers are wishing that I lived in Florida. So
you and me both, man.
It's tough.
You and me both. Mr. Mad 2424, what up, fellas? Appreciate you coming in. Chris is.
So what else have you gotten new lately, Jeremy?
Well, I did a video the other day on a Ruger 1022.
I did see that one too. Yep.
Tallow or one of those distributors. But it was weird because I bought this rifle, I think it was like 18 years ago. And it got put away. I don't think it ever got shot. And I got it out, and I had issues with it. It was ejecting fine, but it didn't want to feed. It was like the bolt was hanging up on something. I thought probably it was the magazine. And so I went through mags, and that wasn't it. And so I put it in the shop, and it was clean. It had a little bit of oil on it. Those 1022s will run dry. But I cleaned it up, oiled it up real good. Went out the next day, same thing. And all of a sudden, it just started running, and it runs like it should now. So that was
a little bit of break in.
Yeah. You have to break in a brand new 1022. Some of those 1022s are kind of mag picky. I've had several of those over the years, and I'll give them a chance, but after a while, if they're not going to feed a BX25, I don't want it. And so I'll just get rid of it.
I had one of those years ago, and I I don't know. I just could never get into feeding them magazines, and I ended up trading it for a nice old vintage rifle that another guy had that he needed a 10-22 and I needed another vintage 22. So
Yeah, those that 10-22s, they're fun. There's probably other rifles that if I had to pick, Speedmasters. Well, actually, a buddy of mine, Axel, he loaned me his 550. I think it was 550-1, but only difference is there's one extractor in 550-1. But that thing, man, it fed everything. I mean, super, super light loads. And I like the design of it better. The Speedmaster is a little bit flimsy in the fore end.
Yep.
I do like the left side, but yeah, that 550, that's definitely on my list now that I've shot one. But I didn't see one when I was up in Tulsa this year. That was one of the rifles that I kind of had on my list to keep an eye out for, but I just didn't notice one. Yeah, we're getting. Let's see who we got here.
Simply Airgun says it's sub-zero temperatures in Colorado.
Where at? Let's see. Oh, here, let's put this one up. Waiting to get this Winchester Model 270 in a Marlin 989 sighted and shooting.
So is the 270 is the 270? I know I have a 270 or had a 270. I can't remember if that is that the semi-automatic or is that the pump action? I think the
I'm not
150
sure.
is the pump action and the 270 is a semi-auto.
I haven't had one.
Yeah, I know I had a 270. I can't remember now.
Yeah, I'm going through some of the. I'm trying to get all you guys up. I know I missed some of you, so please forgive me. But
so one of the other rifles I just picked up recently was a CZ 452, and that's a nice rifle. I've been playing around with it. I tuned the trigger up on it. Was breaking over at about 4 pounds. Put a new trigger spring in there and did a little bit of adjustment on it. I got it down to about 12 ounces.
Wow.
So that one actually came with a it was a really nice scope. It was a loophole scope, VR2 or something like that. It was a 3-9 by 33. A really clear scope, but just 9 power for doing precision, bench rest shooting is not nearly enough. So I switched it over to one of my other higher power scopes I got. So
I recently got a 452 as well. It's actually right there.
Okay.
Man, I'd had one CZ. I think it's right above it. They're both 452s. The one on top's a trainer model. It's got the long barrel on it. And,
does the one up on the top, is that the one with the stock all the way out to the end? The full stock out?
No, it's a Schnobel front end on it. It's got kind of that curve. It's not like a Mannlicher, but and it shoots fine. It was I don't know. It just didn't tickle my fancy that much. But the other one is the I think they call it maybe the American or something like that. It's a shorter barrel. There's no provisions for sights on it, and it's got a loopholed RF special, just a 22 scope on straight 4 power, and man, that thing is a dream to shoot.
Nice.
Absolute dream to shoot. I love that. Yeah. I mean, it'll never take the place of my Anschutz, but what a great handy rifle. That's a woods rifle right there for sure. Let's see who else we got. Smash the like button. Yes, sir. Thank you. Sub-Zero for what part of Colorado are we in? I lived in the Lakewood area, Lakewood. Had a lot of fun in
Never been to
Colorado.
Colorado myself. I've been quite a few places. Never been to Colorado.
Millsert says, speaking of research, you should look into some of the Bill Ruger stories. Rabbit holes galore. Yeah. Some of these gun designers were a little wild.
Yeah, I need to get some of my. I got a bunch of Ruger, really nice Ruger pistols out here. I need to get some of those out and shoot them some more.
Let's see here. Let me put that up for you. Firearms and Fellowship. That's where you can find me. Please come join me. I just hit 1,000 subscribers right at the end of the year, and
Nice.
Man, what a journey! It's been fun. I love talking to people in the comments. There's so many.
Yeah, it took me 10 years to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Did it really?
Now it's taken me 2 years to get to 16,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it works. It kind of snowballs.
Yeah, literally today I went over 16,000 subscribers.
Wow. You hit 10 and it wasn't that long ago.
No. So 2024, I went from 9,000 up to 15,000. And but more so I got more views in 2024 than I had for the whole other 13 years I had my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Fran Brenda, are there any air gun shows scheduled for 2025? I would love to get to Baldwinsville one day.
So the Baldwinsville one is definitely, as far as I know, is still going to go on this year. It'll be the third weekend in July, I believe it is. And when I know more about it, I'll actually do some advertisement for that on my channel. Maybe do a couple of videos about it, because I definitely plan on being there this year. I went there last year; it was absolutely a blast, and I'd love to find some other ones if I could find. I don't want to travel too far, but I know there's one that Dr. Russ. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's got a channel called Dr. Russ's Airgun Adventures, and he had told me about an airgun show down in Pennsylvania, but it was like a last minute thing that he let me know about it. So I didn't get a chance to go, but maybe in 2025, I'll look them up and try to get to that one too. But definitely this year for the Baldwinsville one, I'm going to rent a table and bring a couple of racks full of my vintage air guns and stuff and have a really good time with that.
You going to let some loose, are you?
No, probably not.
Keith Ruff. The 452 is my favorite of the CZ rimfires. Yeah, that's a nice rifle. I've heard the 457s.
I can say that the 452s are definitely my favorite CZs as well, because I only own two, and they're both 452s. So,
my buddy was over the other day, and we were shooting mine, and man, I think I'm gonna. The trigger's just a touch too light on that one, especially for something you're gonna be carrying around in the woods. I think I'm gonna stiffen it up just a little bit. Yeah, let's see. Theodore Howe, my CZ 455 heavy barrel is a tack driver.
Yeah. Hi, Ted.
I believe it. Can someone put Jeremy's channel link on Nibs chat?
You shared it up there already, though, right? Is that the same?
Yeah, they're talking about it in your chat. Okay. Yeah, if somebody could do that, I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you, man. I'll put it up here so somebody can grab it. That's what I say. The firearms community on YouTube, man, just been really, really, really good. And I very rarely get somebody that's in my comments. Yeah. Everybody's usually really supportive and
every once in a while I get somebody who thinks they know more about stuff than I do, and they probably do. Yeah. But I'm just here to have fun. I'm not I'm not trying to win any awards or you know.
There was a couple other channels I wanted to shout out. I was talking to Toby Gunworks yesterday. I've got that Mossberg, that Mannlicher 46M, I think it is.
Yep.
And he was commenting on kind of I was refinishing that. So I was talking to him yesterday. He's at 1917 infield. Let's see, Johnny BB Gunner, 22 Guru, 2A Ninja. All those guys I've talked to over the past year. Even Mike over at United States of Guns. We were going to do a podcast a while back, and it is the same with you, Nibs. We had some plans to do it as well.
Yep.
And
I'd still like to do that pump action one we were talking about previously.
Yeah, we need to do that. And actually, I've picked up some more rifles since the last time we talked about that. We're cross-pollinating. We can definitely do that. So let's see.
Another air gun channel, if anybody's interested, is Air Guns of Alaska. He's a lot of fun. He gets out there, it's 20 below zero, and he's out there pumping up a Crossman pellet gun. It's shooting at 20 yards at some silhouettes. Makes me appreciate 30 degrees in New York.
Yeah. Do either of you have any experience with the Remington 504? I do not.
Remington 504.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
No, I don't think I do. What? Doesn't ring a bell anyway. So I've got I had a 510 and I had a 514. Those are both single shots. Let's see here.
Man, Scotrod, sometimes rifle is just that way. I mean, I've had them before where they lack one kind of ammo. And
what kind of gun is that, Scott Rod? Is it a semi-automatic or Remington 22? Is that a Remington 22?
Yeah,
I just don't even know.
Not familiar with it.
If it's a semi-auto, that's probably why I don't know that much about it. So
I love my CZ 457 MTR with the walnut palm swell stock. Man, I picked up a Ruger 1022 with a walnut stock on it. I was in Cabela's in Dallas, and I spotted it on the rack. Beautiful, beautiful rifle. And man, I think they wanted less than $300 for it. And I snatched that thing. I did a video on that. I don't think you can buy a new Ruger plastic stock for less than $300 now, can you? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I very rarely buy a brand new gun. I did buy one here recently. I got the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 380.
Yeah.
If you want a small 380, you can't beat that thing, man. Yeah, it shoots like a laser. It's got a real high bore axis. Yeah, I've got pretty big hands, and I can get a full purchase on that little tiny pistol. It's incredible. Beats the pants off the old Bodyguard by a mile.
Some of you guys are probably going to think I'm nuts, but my main go-to as far as an everyday carry is a Kel-Tec P3AT. I actually have 2 or 3 of them, and I shoot them all the time. I've never had a jam. I've never had a misfeed, and they hold 7 rounds, and they're so tiny. I can just drop it in my pocket or drop it in my G3.
Is that a 25 or what caliber?
No, it's a 380.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I've had one Kel-Tec. It was a PMR 30, and I had nothing but trouble from that thing. Okay. And I've talked to people that have no issues with theirs, so maybe it was just mine. I don't know.
I think I did sell one of my P3ATs, but I know I have at least 2. And I also have a Kel-Tec P11, which is a 9mm 10+1 double stack, and that thing I ran 500 rounds through that thing, and it's never jammed once.
Okay, he says it's a 22 long rifle bolt action detachable
Okay.
magazine, only made from 2004 2006. Okay.
Okay.
Scotrod, I don't know if you're a member of Remington Society of America. If you're not, man, come join us over there. Those guys, they're a wealth of knowledge, and we got a public group on Facebook. So come join over there and post some questions about that rifle over there, and I'll get them answered for you. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. We're going to wrap it up here pretty quick, I think.
Sure.
We were hoping George McAllister was going to be able to jump in, but
We'll
doesn't
get him
look
next
like.
time.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Airgun Alaska. The more frigid it gets, the more accurate his shots.
Yeah.
All right. Scope Trot says, will do. I'm going to peruse through this one more time. I hope I didn't miss too many of you. They were coming in pretty fast, and I'm trying to stay in the conversation. It was nice to get Chris on here. Man, what a great story. Go check out his channel and support him. He's a good dude.
That was fun. Last year, actually, right around the same time, I had to travel down to Texas for some training for my job. And where I was about an hour away from where he lives. And one evening, I drove out to near his house. So we met up at a local gun shop, and just like a pretty big size gun shop. It's almost like a Bass Pro Shop, but it's a local thing. And we met up and had a cup of coffee and chatted for about an hour or so, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I met up with one of my subscribers, and I meant to. There's a couple of people I wanted to say thank you to, because they've just been, man, they've been there the whole way. Of course, Bill Dye, Jim Ashby, the Armed Pacifist, James Dietz, I'm going to butcher it, man, Bailew, Torque Guy, Derek is 3WG, Lonnie Kreitz. That's not all of you. I appreciate you guys watching and leaving comments and going back and forth with me. It's fun, but those guys right there have been they've been coming in from the top rope for sure. We'll do a couple more. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. I have a 52 A, B, and C.
Yeah, I'm lacking an A and a B, but I have a pre-A. I have 2 C's and a D. So
what's the pre-A?
So the original Model 52 came out in 1919. They started production in late 1919, and for the first, I think, 3 or 4 years, they didn't. So when they did the first revision, they started stamping an A after the serial number. That's when it became a 52A. But for the first 3 or 4 years, they hadn't done any revisions on it, so it was a pre-A. So they didn't have any A stamped after the serial number. And mine is actually a very early production. It was actually made in March of 1920. And they didn't start even drilling and tapping them for scopes until 1921. So that's the only real drawback with that one, is it doesn't have any way for me to mount one of my nice inertial scopes up on or something, but which I'd really love to do. But it's still a fantastic shooting gun. But then I have 2 C's, and then I have that Winchester 52D that I bought several years ago from actually I consider him a pretty good friend down in Texas, and he was a channel member on my Facebook group that I had for years, and Facebook shut that down on me a while back, and just didn't even have the gumption to get that started back up again. It's
hard. It's tough on Facebook, man. I posted an ad from the 19, well, it would have been 1940s, I guess. It was a Remington Sportmaster, Target Master ad, and they pulled it off. I'm like, yeah, but whatever.
Well, so after I did a bunch, so I had a few run-ins with, them trying to shut me down and stuff in the past, and so I had some emails and stuff, and when they finally shut it down in a year or so ago, I contacted them people, and they said that that people were putting pornography up on my Facebook page. And I said there was never any pornography on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
There's never my Walnut and Steel gun channel. There was never any pornography on there. I can guarantee you that. But that's what they said, why they shut it down.
Mark Zuckerberg has come out and said that they've turned a new leaf. We'll see. Brian Ridley, warm sunny day in Southwest Michigan today.
Yeah, right. I'm sure it is.
Digits after falling temperature all day tomorrow. Supposed to get a bit of lake effect after that. I've only been to Michigan one time, and it was up in this part. I'm not sure if that's the right hand or not, but it was up in that part.
We get lake effect a lot around here too. So
yeah.
It's supposed to be 38 here tomorrow, I think, close to 40. So definitely going to be getting out and doing some outside stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, we're getting too cold. Yeah. Nibs knows all the great 22 rifles shown on my Facebook page. Theodore Howe. Okay.
Yep.
I'll have to take a look at that. All right, guys. Well, I think we're winding down here. We got to do this again, man.
Yes, sir.
This was a good time. So yeah, we'll collaborate on some of those rifles that we had talked about before.
Yeah.
And now that we've figured this thing out, we'll do it again. So we're coming up on an hour. So Nibs, I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me. And
let me know when
Chris in too.
Get George cornered, and we'll get him on here too.
Yeah, we can do that. If I can wrangle him up tomorrow, you want me to holler at you?
Yeah. What kind? I forget what kind of air guns does he deal with?
Man,
are they older Crossmans or?
Don't get me lying. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for him, but
I'll have to go back and look at your older. I have to go back and look at your older streams with him and see if I can figure it out before we get it back on again. But I mean, tomorrow evening I probably don't have anything going on. So
okay. Well, I'll holler at you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight and commented.
I appreciate everybody taking the time to stop by.
Yeah. God bless y'all. Love you.
Have a good night.